What's the biggest turn-off when you're talking with someone new?
When they talk at you and don't leave you with an opportunity to speak in between topics.
Sometimes followed up with, "Why are you so quiet?"
Trying to impress me with money or discussions of things they buy with their money when they are clearly attempting to show off that they have a lot. Same thing with connections, like great, you know, an important person. These always seem like thinly veiled attempts to cover up feelings of ineptitude, lack of true friends, or just inferiority complex in general.
Random out of left field insults, put-downs.
Once a girl I was talking to let me know that I unintentionally said things that put her down. I thought I was just teasing her, but she never felt that I was. Man, the girl flipped my whole world that day. Now I triple think before I even talk anymore. She left me on read that day after I apologized, but it felt like a freight train hit my gut. Glad she told me that. Been improving the way I talk to people from there on out.
Inability to disconnect from social media for even a short period of time.
IDK if this falls into this category, but last year I drove an hour to see someone for a third date just for them to sit on their phone texting their friends on Instagram. Then he made plans with them and had me drop him off for them.
A girl I took out on a first date spent a decent amount of time talking about how much money she would get when her parents died. They were both happy and healthy in their 50s. She also told me the music I had on, it was the radio, sucked, and that her dad told her what real music was and I needed to listen to that. Then she said her parents told her she was conceived to a Jimi Hendrix song, so she knew what good music was because it was in her DNA. She was so busy talking about herself that she didn't notice I did a 3-point turn and headed right back to her house.
What did you say to her when you got back to her house? A simple, out, or something longer perhaps?
I didn't notice this blow-up lol. This was our first date, but we were talking on the phone just about every day, having the usual new crush conversations. We had been on the way to catch a train into the city to see a baseball game and she didn't notice I turned around before the train station. When I got back on the highway she said, why are we going back the way we came? This was like 10 years ago, but I basically told her that she had been talking about herself constantly since I picked her up and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. Didn't want to spend 4 more hours with her if that's what it was gonna be like. I asked her if she was just nervous and had the first date jitters, ya know? Offered to start over fresh. And she got super angry. I asked her where she'd like to be dropped off and I dropped her at a friend's house. It was a super awkward ride, but I listened to the pootiest radio music I could find.
Someone who just feeds off drama. Like doesn't talk about anything else but things that are going on with other people. I'm trying to get to know you, not some random sorority girl and what she did last weekend.
Yes, oof, I forget this type of person exists.
When they keep interrupting you.
Rudeness to others.
Also, if they keep complaining about other people and their interactions with them. In my mind I'm like, sounds like the common denominator to all the issues you're having with people is you.
They don't give and take in the conversation. They don't reciprocate the questions I'm asking them.
I've had many a date where if I wasn't talking there would have been silence, and I'm not a big talker. If I wasn't asking questions they wouldn't be interacting at all.
No sense of humor would be tough to get past.
I have a good sense of humor, but it's hard when first meeting someone because people have different sense of humor. I usually hold back a little until I get to know them better. I've had people take things the wrong way when I was joking about something because they didn't know my sense of humor and I didn't know what type of humor they liked.
If we're talking IRL and they keep checking their phone, no thanks.
There was a Twitter post where some girl was raging about a dude turning his phone over, screen down, when they sat down for a lunch date. She was 100% convinced he was hiding a wife or GF or something because of it. Turns out, he was just a considerate person and knows a screen-up phone will have distractions and he was there to see her.
When they keep interrupting you while you're trying to speak. Especially when you get asked a question and before you can answer they either ask another one or interject something completely irrelevant.
I have ADHD, so I definitely interrupt people without meaning to. When I do, I always immediately apologize and ask them to continue what they were saying. I'm trying super hard to work on the issue, but hopefully people don't get too upset as long as I acknowledge the mistake. Edit typo.
A complete lack of ability to have a conversation. Like one-word answers or thinking lol is a response. Another bad one is the one-uppers or people that are clearing bragging so hard they are lying.
Ah man, I hope people don't feel this way about me. I'm not the best conversationalist, but god damn I'm trying. Sometimes I just don't know what to say.
If they immediately start talking about their ideal partner in great detail, being really specific about who this person should be and the things they should like and be into, especially when this includes how this person should be in the bedroom, what they should do and like doing. I guess they are trying to rule out the non-starters quickly, but just makes me think, oh, do F off.
When they start the conversation with a gossip. An example is my experience with this woman in my daughter's preschool before the pandemic, who would start a conversation about this, that person, anyone she knows that I knew nothing about, and she claims she has connections with certain, well-known people. Really off-putting, and it was just the first week of classes. Edit, to clarify since others can't distinguish between a gossip and sharing about a personal experience.
When they're an expert on everything.
Super specific, but I hate it when people give me a weird look or comments when I tell them about my special interests. It's hard for me to open up about my interests because of that exact reason.
Bad breath.
Getting sexual too fast. If we haven't even met, I don't want to talk dirty with you or have the entire conversation dominated by what sexual preferences you have. Sending unsolicited nudes also comes into this. Let's start with a regular conversation.
When you ask all the questions, they don't ask anything back and feels like an interview. Edit. Damn, I didn't expect this to blow up. Glad we can all relate.
I was at an icebreaker for a social club and there was this guy who only gave one-worded answers or yes, no. What's your hobby? Gymming. Cool, when did you start? Recently. Do you go by yourself? Yes. Longest 3 minutes of my life. Edit to add, yes, I did try asking open-ended questions like, if you can go anywhere without having to worry about anything, where would you go and why? I get dry answers like IDK. I couldn't find a common ground or interest. I talked to other members and they experienced the same thing, so he's probably shy or unsure what to do. He did come alone, which is something I really admire since I struggle with going out alone in general. I can't leave because we're all partnered up and I was running out of small talk questions. I don't enjoy interrogations or forced conversations. I did briefly mention other people to him who I think he would share common interests with. He did hung out at the after social with the crowd I was with but didn't talk to anyone. I didn't know how to include him, I didn't want to hold him hostage, I'm lost. I have nothing to work with.
Edit, I'm sorry I posted this at all.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.